Um, so my journey with the Enneagram started about 20 years ago, and the way it started was that Ian, before me, became a student of the Ridwan School, which is the school from Almas, and he came home from his first retreat, and he was all excited and started telling me about the Enneagram. And I became really intrigued, and he also brought the book along with him from Helen Palmer. And I remember I was sitting in the garden and in our beautiful house in Oxfordshire, and I had this book on my lap, and I didn't know in that moment that in a few moments' time, I will experience the most embarrassing moment in my life. So I opened the book, and the first type which showed up was the type 6, which is the loyalist. I started reading, and the more I read, the more a picture evolved of Ian. And all of a sudden it was Ian, part of Ian as I know himself. And I ran over to his office and said, Ian, I think I know who you are. You're a type 6. and then I started reading some of the other types, and as I came to the type 2, which was the helper, and I started reading, I remember anxiety arose. I became very insecure. I started to feel ashamed and embarrassed. It was just what I was reading was a whole reflection of myself, of things which I was even hiding before myself, and I thought, oh my God, if anybody reads that, they all know now who I am. All my fear, and I'm only a helper because that's the only way I feel loved, that I help everybody, and I was helping even people who didn't ask me, but that was so in me, and I was craving the feeling of being loved. And then a lot of sadness after that, a lot of sadness arose, because I also realized how far away I am from who I am. And that's when my journey started, really finding out all the structures I was caught in. And that was 20 years ago. And now I can say I became more a true helper. I will always be a helper. But I became more a true helper, true to myself. The helping comes from a different place, not anymore motivated from wanting to be loved. That's my little story, but I want to tell another little story. I don't know, do I have time?
We have up to going half an hour.
Well, a friend of mine went to a workshop, Enneagram workshop in Maui. And it was with the Enneagram, it was with Gangaji's husband, I think it was Eli. And there were like 40 people, and nobody knew their type. And after Eli made the introduction of the Enneagram, about half an hour into the workshop, this chaos broke out. The alarm went on, and a chaos broke out among, I cannot remember why exactly. the fire alarm went off. Yeah. So everybody got up and everybody was running around and doing something and finding out what's going on. And all of a sudden, Eli rang a bell and said, everybody stops. Everybody stopped and looked. Said, don't move. You are caught right now in the type who you are. So all the number 2s were running around helping everybody. All the number 5s were sitting somewhere pretending nothing is happening. All the number 6 were gathered in a corner being frightened. All the number 1s, you know, which is the police, looked that everybody is doing what they are supposed to do, and so forth. You get the picture. So I found the Enneagram really useful in my life, even understanding my own children. And as Ian was pointing out, you know, we still play these little games of saying, oh, this type, this person is an 8, or he's a 2, or whatever. But of course, that's only an outer shell. And as Eleonora said, that's not really who we are in our depth.